Alright, we're back, of course, talking Square Enix. We're talking Xbox as well. We're further in the conversation of, the Square Enix Xbox partnership. Xbox has an event coming up this Thursday, October 17th. Xbox Partner Preview, as it's called, and I believe this is dealing with third-party games, third-party studios, things like that. I don't know if there's going to be exclusives as well. Maybe there could be. I don't entirely know. This may or may not pertain to our boys over at Square Enix, as we know there's kind of a recent partnership between, Xbox and Square Enix. We haven't really seen, the development of that, I guess, other than, Final Fantasy XIV and maybe, the pixel remasters of Final Fantasy coming to Xbox. Besides that, there's not been, a whole lot, but we know that they're wanting to collaborate going forward. Also, quite recently, we had an interview with Naoki Yoshida where he had talked about wanting to bring Final Fantasy XVI to Xbox at some point. He seemed to be implying that would be down the road a bit, but maybe that's something they could, kind of announce or talk about at this event. Also, quite recently, we had a meeting between Xbox and Square Enix, which we did a video about, of course, where a lot of head people over at Xbox came and met with a bunch of people at Square Enix. For sure, Yoshida was there, Hamaguchi, and Kitase. Also, interestingly enough, if we look back at the tweet that Hamaguchi had dropped that we talked about in our video, that was actually tweeted out on October 3rd, which just so happens to be exactly 2 weeks to the day before this event's taking place on Thursday, the 17th. It absolutely mean nothing. It's just kind of an observation on my end. I thought it was kind of intriguing that they had a meeting between Xbox and Square Enix exactly 2 weeks before the event that's taking place on Thursday. As for the event itself, we can just read the blog post really quickly. We're thrilled to announce the next Xbox Partner Preview. Our No Fluff All Games broadcast is coming this Thursday, October 17th. The latest installment will feature a mix of new and upcoming games for you from incredible partners like Remedy Entertainment, Sega, 505 Games, and many more, with over a dozen new trailers over the course of around 25 minutes. During Xbox Partner Preview, you'll get a first look at gameplay from Alan Wake 2's next expansion, The Lake House, an action-packed new trailer for Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, a peek at multiple bosses in dark fantasy action game Wuchang Fallen Feathers, never heard of it, multiple world premieres, and other great titles coming to Xbox consoles, Windows PC, and Game Pass. As always, Xbox Partner Preview is all about sharing exciting games news from our talented partners across the globe. You'll get new game reveals, release date announcements, and fresh new gameplay from upcoming games. And to sweeten the deal, during the broadcast, Xbox Wire will post exclusive behind-the-scenes stories about select titles shown. This event will be broadcast digitally on Thursday, October 17th at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. UK across our Xbox channels on YouTube and Twitch. That's really all we need to read. The rest of it's Q&A related stuff that's not necessarily important. So we have an idea of what the event is, right? It's, over a dozen trailers. There's going to be world premieres and looks at other games that we're aware of, things like that. Around 25 minutes. In regards to Square Enix, I don't really know if they'll be there. I think there's decent odds of that, just given the recent things we've talked about in the video, the meetings and stuff like that. What could be there? I don't know. The only thing I'm aware of, only games I'm aware of are Forspoken. That's on Steam, on PlayStation 5, but it's on Xbox, right? And then you have Final Fantasy 16 and the 7 Remake games. Besides that, I'm not really sure without looking into it, going on Google and looking or whatever. I'm not really sure if Square Enix would be a part of this event to announce any of those games coming to Xbox besides Forspoken. That game's obviously kind of older now. So that could maybe be there. I don't know that we'd get 16 to Xbox yet, because Yoshida seemed to be implying that was still a ways out, right? And that could just be him saying that. They could already maybe have the Xbox version kind of ready to go. Maybe it's closer than we think. I don't know. That could potentially be there. And obviously with the 7 Remake stuff, we've been talking about this for years, but we all seem to think at this point, since we haven't had any of it come to Xbox yet, that it's probably not coming to Xbox until it's all done. So I wouldn't expect the 7 Remake shit to be there either. I think it'd be kind of a nice surprise if they ever did do something like that prior to the third game coming out, just because with the first game, just Final Fantasy VII Remake, how much money is that game making anymore? How often does that game sell? How many copies are being sold monthly on PlayStation and or Steam or Epic or whatever, right? I can't imagine the game's making a ton of money, so it'd be kind of nice to put it on another platform just to try to help boost sales. In my opinion, that's probably not going to happen, but it'd be kind of nice. Now, besides those ones that we always talk about, come to Xbox at some point type of shit, we do have upcoming projects, the 9 Remake, Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster, Dragon Quest XII, Kingdom Hearts 4, the same shit we talk about all the time. It gets kind of repetitive to talk about them, of course, when there's no movement, no traction going forward, no announcements, no discussions, nothing happening on Square Enix's end about these games that we all know are in the works, but they never fucking talk about them. I don't know anything like those games to be at this kind of smaller seeming events, but just figured we'd throw them in there, just because we know they exist. Just a matter of when the fuck they're going to be announced officially on Square Enix's end. And that's really kind of it for the video. We know that Square Enix and Xbox have a bit of a partnership relationship going forward right now. They want to work together with, upcoming games, things like that. We have an Xbox event coming up on Thursday, October 17th. 2 weeks ago, they had a meeting between Xbox and Square Enix. Yoshida wants 16 to come to Xbox at some point. There's a lot of things in the works. It's just a matter of whether or not they're actually going to be a part of this event. I don't know. Obviously, if anything interesting comes from this Xbox event on Thursday, we'll talk about it. Either way, that's the video. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. System works in the description below. Follow me on Twitter, @DavidYT. That's it.
Used to care what people thought, but now I care more, and nobody out here's got it figured out. So therefore, I've lost all hope of a happy ending, depending on whether or not it's worth it. So insecure, no one's perfect. We spend it with no shame, we blow that. Like Coltrane, we in here. Like Rogaine, or leave it. Like Cobain.